All right. Three, two, one, boom. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. G, how are you
Yeah, it
doing,
was
sir?
good.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you, man. It's a great honor to actually have you on the show, man. So thank you for taking your time to do this.
It's my pleasure. It's my honor being here as well. I think it's my first interview since I've been here. To be honest, I think the past
Yeah,
3.5 years, almost 4 years now.
yeah, yeah. You told me that you haven't done like anything like this. I mean, I think this is a bit different because I
Yeah.
usually don't like to call it an interview, more like kind of just getting to know the person a little
No.
bit. But you know what I mean? Because I would say you can even feel free to ask me question while the conversation goes deeper and deeper. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm old school, so we call these things like interview. Like back then, we didn't have no podcasts and stuff.
I know, I feel you. I feel you though. But before we get into it, I first of all, I just want to say that like this whole week before this, I was listening to your albums, like your music for this whole week just to prepare for this. And I just have
Okay.
to say, because I'm such a big fan, and I think you are literally the greatest Gambian rapper, like lyrically and everything. And I just want to thank you for giving us such an amazing music for such a long time, man. So I just wanted to get that out of there.
It's been my pleasure.
Yeah, man. So
Appreciate
so
it.
how you yeah. So how you doing, man?
I can say great. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole different country. Like it's
Mhm.
been challenging like the first 1.5 years, but I got a grip on to whatever I was doing, and I got a few businesses here, and the things are
Yeah.
going great. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. So if I'm not wrong, you're retired now. Like how is retirement treating you?
Even here, bro, they're not gonna let me rest, bro. Like like everybody I'm close to, they try every single time to just put me to do backup music, and
Yeah.
and then past 3 months, I got like one
Mhm.
of my closest artist friends like was here with me,
Mhm.
for like the whole 3 months, like
Yeah.
the Dip Niggas. So basically,
Yeah.
he's been working on his album, which is supposed to come out next month. So
Mhm.
the only time I get
Yeah.
to go to a studio is when I get him a studio to go do some work and stuff like that. I get to be back in the just like have the whole feel, but
Yeah.
he wants me on his album though, so he's
Yeah.
been sending me stuff. Just today morning too, he's been playing some stuff in the studio. So he said he wants me, like he will send me at least two, three stuff to get on. So I already got the first one, which I really like. So I'm retired, but I might drop a verse here,
Okay.
there, those kind of things.
But yeah, because I saw your tweet the other day. I think it was yesterday that you said that y'all making me want to rap, especially
Yeah.
like with the music scene changing and everything. Do you feel the urge to actually come back, or like do you feel satisfied that you've done your part?
Um, the urge to rap is just the rap part. It's just the making music part.
Yeah.
But
Mm,
not to come back as an artist and do shows and do bookings.
mm,
I think I'm done with that part already. I've done my bit. And
yeah.
like the kids are really doing well, but sometimes I feel like I could add this to it, or they need to go this direction, or this is not really working. And sometimes when you with our kind of people, like it
Yeah.
depends on how you put out like what you want to advise, because at times it comes
Mm,
out as hate, or you're trying to degrade them or whatever. So I just try to keep away from all that.
mm,
But before I left Gambia, when they gave me like the president of the music union, okay, that's a role I really wanted to play, and that's I feel I could change
mm,
like a few stuff that I actually want to change, because there's a lot of people like back home that are not like artists, but
mm,
they're actually giving like misinformation to the artists about these streamings and like
mm,
whatnot, how you can make money. And
yeah.
yeah, and in Gambia the artist has to do everything. You don't just be an artist and make music. You gotta like find ways to make money and find ways to make money out of what you're doing. It's not like and there's a
Yeah.
structure built there like here or Sweden or wherever you guys are. This it's not
Yeah.
like there's a structure where if you become an artist, you get signed, you
Hmm.
hit top, you don't get to do much. The like everything is there in place and you make your money. Yeah, that's like we still don't
Okay.
have that right now.
Do you feel like in that part you would want to come back and have something to do with it, like something to help them with to understand more
Uh,
about that?
it's not much to do. It's just like Gambia is very little, bro. It's just like doing the right thing and just letting them do their thing. Because for example, when
Yeah.
like when our time we started, like we didn't
Hmm.
have no Gambian music playing in the radio, but we had to make that possible. We had to get our own people and put them on the radio and giving
Yeah.
them our own music to play and stuff like that. And then there was
Mm.
no clubs playing Gambian music. Them
Yeah.
X Massive Wagon had to take a night at Calabash, whatever it was
Hmm.
then, like have a Gambian music night. Like even though people didn't like it, but we had to force it onto them. Like because then we didn't even have a sound. Maybe downloading beats and spitting on it,
Yeah.
So like it
Hmm.
starts from somewhere, but once you place the structure, it just goes.
Hmm.
In my time, you start with Alliance Franco, like you
Hmm.
pack that stage up. You go to Jacarlo. After Jacarlo, you go to Benjamin Hall. After
Hmm.
Benjamin Hall, that's when you get to the stadium. So that's something
Hmm.
like me and my peers did, but that's the structure right now. If you see an artist going like a Q City or something, his next step is the stadium. That's where you officialize yourself as like whatsoever. But these
Yeah.
are things that like I don't like to brag, but in my generation before Monday was nobody doing it.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
nobody been to
Okay.
the stadium before me.
Yeah.
Nobody been to like all these venues before I did it. So
Of course. Of course. I mean, what you've done, you basically are the have been the one that set the stage for everybody. But do you feel like you've not been given the credit for it still? Like,
I didn't do it for people to talk about or whatever. It's just
mm,
I don't know. I'm good. Um,
yeah,
like how everything is in the world.
yeah,
I in my country I got to accept like we don't preserve history and we don't respect people when they do stuff and then their time has passed.
mm,
Like I can't say what I did in music. Like
yeah,
for someone like example Biri Biri. Like
yeah,
what he did in
yeah,
football, I didn't do even 10% in the music. My country don't respect him. Like till he
mhm,
died and that's what they know, like who
yeah,
he is,
true.
whatnot. So it's like that with everything. You go into the like to the museum in Gambia, you can't find anything that you could relate to. So
That's true. That's
it's
true.
a yeah, it's a general problem. It's like it's
Yeah.
not just music. It's our country itself.
Yeah, that's no, that's true. That's very true. But the reason why also I had you on the show is not just to even just talk about your music, but overall I want to understand you more as a person. And of
Yes.
course, you've been through a lot with your struggles and successes in your journey as a music as a music artist. So I would say that I try to do this so that it can help me shed some light on my own path, on the daily things that I go with, so we can find some. I can understand you. Maybe I can be able to relate or whatever. So I want you to basically just to take me back childhood. Growing up, childhood is so important. It's like almost, it's like basically the foundation upon which our whole entire lives are built upon. It's like those first crucial, blocks. You know what I mean? And those blocks can be bad blocks or good blocks. The trauma
Right.
and the experiences or whatever. So if you could just share with me some of those foundational moments, like in your childhood, what were those initial blocks like for you?
Um, I grew up in Pipeline. I grew up in Pipeline for So as I was
Yeah,
growing up there, and also in the marina, like throughout my nursery, like
yeah,
reception, like high school. So
hmm,
once I was growing up in Pipeline, like it's like we they call us kids on that side like the whole privileged kids because we like
yeah,
like you're from
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not even privilege. We just had like basic stuff in life, like because in Gambia,
Hmm.
like these things that like okay, basic things can be seen as luxury because it's like we're from a third world country.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of music, there was
Hmm.
no internet then, but I was lucky to have like a cousin. Like they used to call him Def Jam then because he had so
Mm.
much like whatever came out, it'll be in the
Yeah.
post next week. Whatever album, DMX, like uh, um, uh, 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 Cannabis, like
Yeah.
Outcasts, like these are music I grew up to. Like, and by the way, it was
Okay.
Andre 3000 is the reason why I ever picked up a mic. Like, that's my favorite all time rap.
Mm,
So
great to know.
yeah, he always had like new stuff, whatnot. And then
Hmm.
not only that, but the Fugitives were from Pipeline Fajara. So they used to
Mm,
come to him for music.
okay.
So I'm there. I'll be seeing like them a Mohawk and them Sam. And then Seabreeze was one of the best. Like he's the one that used to sing in, like the Fugitives. Like we're kind of related to. Like,
Okay. Okay.
so
I
they
don't think I
always
know
had
these
that.
people, by the way, because you're older than me. So
Bro, Fugitives is like
yeah.
uh you must know Born Africans, right?
Yeah. 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 I do. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Born Africans and um the Fugitives were like the first group. Then there were groups. They
Yeah.
were from
Yeah.
Pipeline. They're the first people that went international. They
Okay.
had like,
Okay.
yeah, they got a contract with Sony, so they went to
Yeah.
France. They
Wow.
came from the States. Like these are like Mohawk Studio, like it's in Pipeline. He's the one that first signed Jizzle, Ojilo,
Mm.
Sophia, Jalimadi, Big Fa. All these were under his
Is
label.
this inside pipeline? Like, is this
Inside
behind?
Pipeline.
Yeah, inside
Inside
pipeline.
Pipeline.
Yeah, I think I used to pass a place where I think it's written outside or something like that. The
Yeah.
Mohawk Studios.
What's the studio
Yeah,
called? It was called the
I'm
Block. The Block.
I'm not
So
sure.
that's
I'm not hundred
that's
percent sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one
Mm,
thing. That's one thing I respect Mohawk for. Like, cause that
mm-hmm.
generation, like, he's the only one that actually did something that could actually. Cause all these
Mm-hmm.
kids wouldn't have had a foundation without him. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Jizzle, Jelly Madi, Big Fa, all
Mm,
these wouldn't have had a vibe. Like, they wouldn't have no kind of foundation without him.
okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whilst I was growing up around them. So they gave us
Mm,
um what's it again? Like they were like my influence because back then they'll
mm-hmm.
they they don't have like like packed stadiums and stuff like that. Born Africans, but when Yaya Jammeh had his thing or whatever
Mm-hmm.
these shows in the stadiums and then they come and perform, they'll pack that place up, bro. Everybody will be singing their songs, like
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and then we
Yeah.
will cram their verses. Still, right now, if I started spitting a Mohawk verse, I bet like my generation, everybody will spit the
Yeah.
verses. Yeah.
True.
So
True. Are there music
so
available online or
it should be. It should be. I'll be in some of the
I'll check
videos,
it out.
bro. Yeah, there's one
I'll
particular
check it
video.
out.
I'm
Yeah.
there. I'm there in the video, bro.
I'm definitely
Like
gonna
my
check it out.
ninja. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I grew up around like that. So
Mm.
there was always music in me, and like during high school, like I'm gonna be honest, all my friends I used to do I used to do music. So like I used to read music and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So when we had music classes, I would do their homeworks for them, their everything. Like I used
Mm.
to get like straight A's when it comes to that.
Did you always feel very special at a young age when you were around these people? Like, were you a special child? Because I look at you as a special person. Because, like I said in the beginning, you set Gambian music right there. So, because you were in my generation growing up, it was only you that we know that was making music or making rap or making hard things. So, did you always feel like you've always had that in you?
Um, Bro, I just did what I love doing. I can't even
Mm.
I tell you, even with the music, I could say this. I didn't plan to be an artist.
What did
I
you want it to
like
be?
anything else. I was start even when I came back home, I was playing football, bro. But I like music and I started like I like the process of making music. Like being
Okay.
able to write like
Mm.
like I like literature and all that stuff. So the writing bit was really good for me. But I didn't know
Mm.
that once you make the music, it's gonna come with like the performances, the making music
Mm.
videos, the do all that. So when the stuff started to go up, and then I need to do these things, at that point I wasn't ready for it. So I don't know
Okay.
if you noticed, I don't have like no videos. In my time,
Okay.
I blew up without no video, no nothing, because then the internet
Yeah.
wasn't that powerful like it is right now.
That's true. Now, growing up in your house, like, did you had any like experiences with music in your house, or was this just all out of being at home?
Uh, I don't know. Like my mom said something one time, but she only said it was. She said she used to sing. Like when she
Mm,
was, yeah, she used to sing, but I don't know. I think she
yeah.
just said because I blew up. Like I'm here.
Yeah.
But
She's
I don't
amazing.
think, yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing. Nobody in my family does music apart from Smokey. Do you know
Mm.
Smoke Doctor?
Yeah. Yeah. I know Smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, Smoke's my big brother. Like we're the same
Yeah. I
family.
know. Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So he was in Canada doing music, and when he came back, that's when he had this group put together. It was Mad Boss, Killer Ace,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
Omnoir. So I was
Hmm.
like the baby of the group. So I came last, but we
Mm,
were La Costa Nostra. I came last, but I wasn't really welcome in because I was still in that commercial type of stuff. And then they were like
yeah.
straight hardcore. So I always used to clash
Okay.
with Ace. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. In
Now
terms of what
you mentioned your mom singing, but in terms of character, do you believe that you've inherited anything from your parents in terms of characteristics or
my
whatever or
mom,
personalities?
my
Yeah.
mom, my mom.
Mm.
Yeah, my
Okay.
mom. My mom is like me exactly. My mom. That was son.
Yeah.
She
Mm.
talks whatever she feels like. She's
Yeah.
outspoken. Yeah, and
Mm.
if you don't understand her, you'll probably judge her wrong. But she's the sweetest person on
Yeah.
earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know her. I know her personally because she calls me time to time and we
yeah.
talk. So yeah, but I just wanted to know because like I said, talking about your childhood, because I see you how you express yourself in your music. And of course we come from a country where like people don't express themselves very well. I've watched your interviews, I've listened to your music a lot, and I see with anything, you bring it out in the table. You're very authentic in the way that you speak, and you don't really care about what other people think.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like when you were beginning to make music, since that you already talked about how who the people that influence you, like when you were starting, when you were writing music, did you always had that also in you? Did you plan how you wanted to bring yourself out there as an artist or as a writer?
No, I learned that whilst I was doing it. Like I'm
Mm,
gonna big up the X Mouse. X Mouse really like played a lot in my career
mm,
in terms of like my
yeah.
PR. Even though
Mm,
he be telling me do this, I get up, I do the other
mm,
thing. But it's always in my head that that's the right thing to do. But okay, I'm angry. I don't care at this point. I'm gonna do this. But he always
yeah.
advised me to like do what's right, and this is how it
Mm,
works. Bro. You don't,
mm,
this is how it's supposed to go. I
okay.
understand that, but with me, I don't know. I just like whatever I feel. I feel if I put it out
Mm,
and then I'm done with it. I
yeah.
don't like to hide stuff. I don't like to like hold
Mm,
grudge on people. Like I don't like to
mm,
like okay. For example, if me and you had an argument or a misunderstanding or like we had some
yeah.
kind of,
Hmm.
I'm not the kind of person that could see you every day and pretend it's okay. And even if we don't talk,
Okay.
even if you're 100 meters away, I can see you and
Mm,
not tell you
mm,
how I feel. But the
that's true.
yeah, man. But the
Mm,
moment I tell you how I feel, I'm just done with it. Like it's all good.
mm,
So it's
yeah.
like it's me, my character that just
Mm,
played on with my music too. Like, because
yeah. Because I've seen
if
that.
you
Yeah.
yeah, if you
Yeah.
can listen to an artist and know his life through and know how he is through his music, then that's not really an artist. Like that's an entertainer.
Mm,
Yeah.
true. True.
Yeah.
That's true. Because like I think that's one of the things I respect about you, your ability to actually express also emotions openly, especially in your music. And that's a very rare quality that people in Gambia don't have, the artists don't have, even just regular artists don't have. And of course, most of the time I feel like when a male artist does it, it's seen as something like because I've listened to all the beefs that you had also before, and all they do and all this the same thing they say is that G just talks too much, or G just complains all the time, or whatever. And I feel
But
like
but
it's
they
like
will
a,
never
it's
tell you
like
that I'm wrong. They'll never tell you that I'm
no,
wrong.
no, 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 no. Exactly, that's the thing. But what if a female artist do that, or a woman randomly, even without being an artist, it's seen like, oh, it's good that you're expressing your emotion. Like, how do you think men or even artists, male artists, can actually begin to open up and actually start embracing their emotions and be able to share it?
That's for the culture. In Gambia,
Yeah.
as a
Mm-hmm.
man, you're not allowed
Mm-hmm.
to cry. You're not allowed to even you're not allowed to
Mm.
express your emotions in any way because it's seen as a sign of weakness. That's
Yeah.
that's the culture. So I don't know. Some people are so like they so I don't know. They try they they try to like they like that. That usually happens if you consider other people
Hmm.
too much, their opinions too much about your life.
Okay.
That you can express how you feel. That you gotta hold it in as a man. That's the right thing to do as a god.
Mm-hmm.
Kirib.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it wasn't as um it wasn't as very serious then,
Yeah.
but in today's society, like
Hmm.
our women, they use that
Yeah.
as an advantage. It's like our like how our moms were raised. Like you see, our moms are not out
Mm.
every time. They're not outside. They're not doing this. They don't have multiple men. They don't do. But that's the generation we are in right now. So that
Yeah.
yeah, if it was then, our moms wouldn't let their man cry or do all these things. They would actually be there to comfort
Mm-hmm.
them and console whatever. Right now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the chicks use that for their advantage. They'll do if at all they want. Okay, they could do stuff to you and don't want
Mm.
you to speak out or
Yeah.
cry over it or whatsoever, so they could do other shit. So once you do
Mm.
that, like you're not manly. Hang on, go do living, go do
So what's
that.
manly then?
You ask them. You ask them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm
Because I
human.
yeah. Yeah. Because like I grow around the same thing too. I'm a very open person. I express myself all the time, however I feel, and at some point it's like there's a part of me also that always try to check myself, and I don't know why I do that. I tend to have this internal dialogue in my mind, like when I'm expressing how I feel, but that Gambian in me always tells me, like, why are you sharing, like why are you expressing all this emotion, like toughen up, be a man. But it always feels wrong when I have that internal dialogue, because the real me wants to open up, the real me wants to talk about it, the real me wants to cry about something that's bothering me, right? Or this, like losing a parent or whatever. But the Gambian side always tells you, oh, you just have to toughen up, you just have to just lock it in and then don't talk about it and move on with your life. And it's something that is even bothering me, like it makes me stuck to trying to figure out where do I want to go with my life, you know what I mean? Because I know also you've mentioned publicly like that you've been depressed before, and this is a place that I have been to, and I know how that feels. Like the brave of you, like I can never talk about that publicly or tell. I think I told one of my friends in Gambia, and he told me that it was the substances that I was that I was using too much, you know what I mean? So you've publicly said that, like how, where did you have that confidence to actually open up to be able to say that? Because in Gambia saying you're depressed is like they don't understand.
Okay, but now let me ask you a question. Like when you're dealing with all those stuff,
Mm.
like okay, who's there for you? Like, is it by yourself?
I mean, like now you mean like I have my wife with me.
No, I mean
You know what
then
I
if you're dealing with your stress, even if
Oh
your
yeah, yeah,
wife's
yeah,
not
yeah,
away, like
yeah,
it's by yourself,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I'm by
Okay,
myself. Yeah, yeah.
okay, you feel
Mm,
everything by yourself. You're
mm,
depressed by yourself. Why should you
mm,
consider other people when you like when you wanna do stuff to actually
mm,
help yourself? Like you shouldn't consider other people. If they can add to what you're doing, yes,
mm,
fine. But if at all they're gonna tell you toughen up or whatsoever. If at
mm,
all, like my friend, like may God grant him heaven. Like I had a friend that just passed like
I
last
mean,
year.
mm,
Um,
yeah.
whilst I was working with him, like I was
Mm,
literally dealing with with the depression still. So I had to
mm,
go through therapy and stuff like that. But I
mm,
I made it in a way because I traveled a lot. So we had this app called um uh, it's called Better Me. I still have it.
okay.
You get on it, you choose a therapy, you set time, and then
Mm,
you could go to therapy sessions during the like
yeah.
let's say one or twice a day. You could so stuff
Mm,
like that. So he understood me. Like he did
okay.
prison time a lot, so he went through therapy himself. So like whenever my time's up, even when we're in the car, like he'll actually park the car, tell me to stop. No, don't say you're gonna do it after. Okay, do it right now because it's time. Okay, I'll stop. He gets out of the car, go smokes a cigarette, even if it's gonna last an
Mm,
hour, and just let me be in my session. So if you have people like that, like around you, they'll help you actually get better. But then if you like, I'm gonna be honest. My own mom,
mm,
when I told him, when I told her I was depressed around that time, what she told me?
mm.
Di even tubaab la yow këram këram ni dafa depressed
I
ah
feel
mos
you,
na
man.
well mu teg but then when I got to explain to her like what I'm dealing with and how this helps me and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. She respected
Mm-hmm.
it and she started to check on me and check on my sessions too. So it's a matter of
Okay.
um I feel in Gambia, okay, people are they quick to dismiss what they're not used to or what they don't know. Instead of always trying to learn, they always wait, they will never get to understand you. If you say you're depressed, they wouldn't even understand where to start with you.
No.
So yeah, bro, I got to a stage. Even
Yeah.
here in school, it didn't reach to certain stages. But in Gambia, I used to hurt myself at some point. Like I would
Yeah. But how did you
I
get to
would cut
that
my.
place? Like how did you get to that place that you were making music and see everything seems that it was going really good? Like how did you get there?
Um, in Gambia,
Yeah.
music, um, and whatever it is you're doing, that's Gambia up to a level. There's a place where you get to, you can't surpass. It don't matter what you do, you don't surpass. It's you're gonna be on that level for it don't matter 5 years, 10 years until you let go.
Mm.
So I'm a very ambitious person if you know me. So like
Yeah.
with Gambia, it was like I was trapped. I was in I don't know how to put it. I wasn't maximizing my potential. I felt I
Mm.
wasn't myself. Okay, basically the
Yeah.
music, everything is not as lucrative as you guys think. It's
Yeah.
like my peers, the people I went to class with, like come, let's say like Talib Bensouda, that's my peer right there. We went to class.
Yeah.
We started rapping together actually. Me and Talib actually. I'm gonna be honest. With you. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, we used to be the same rap group. um, with like you see Talib. I can name a couple of people like Momar Tal. Like these are my peers. Like everybody's on some wearing suits like
Yeah.
I'm the
Hmm.
only one that's a rapper that's jumping on plywood, entertaining kids or whatsoever. I wanted more in life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You feel like you deserve that.
exactly. So
Yeah.
every day in Gambia, I was in Gambia. Like I felt as like I've been taking something away from me. So I was there. I loved Gambia. I came back. Like out of my boys, I'm the first one to come back. And then Kaba
Hmm.
Samba, and then all these other people, one by one, we all came back. But I was the first to actually came back.
Hmm.
Um, I just read that's another that same conversation I'm telling you. I had this with like with Saul Fraser one time. Like we're talking about Jizzle before he blew. Like his
Yeah.
we were having a text and then he was like he's also scared of these kids when they reach that place like where
Yeah.
they get to do all the things that they actually done in Gambia. What's their next step from there? And then I don't know
Yeah.
if you've noticed if it's ST Attack Jizzle, they've been in the
Hmm.
same position for the past 3 4 years. There's no growth. As much as they would refuse to accept it, the same place they were last 3 years. If not, they were even better
Yeah.
3 years ago. They had more bookings, they had
Yeah.
more money coming in. But in Gambia, if you reach that place, you can't surpass it. It's
Hmm.
that. It's it. You know.
So you don't believe right now that these kids in the music scene, you don't think they can be able to do that? You don't see any artist right now in Gambia that you think has that?
No. It's not about the artist. It's about the structure being placed there and how
Yeah.
like bro like a well like I could clearly remember like when Wale Seka was actually coming
Hmm.
up. I would
Yeah.
send Hakim to him for a future whatever because he's just a
Yeah.
beginning artist. But in Senegal, you
Mm.
start today, within a year you surpass the Gambian artist. It
Oh,
don't
that's
matter
true.
how big the Gambian artist is. It don't matter.
That's true.
Like
Because
after a
I've
year of
seen
your
Dip
people,
come. I've seen the Samba Puzzy came out of
Presley
nowhere, and
come,
then
bro.
he's blowing up also. Yeah,
Bro, Summer's my kid, bro. That's
it's
like that
crazy.
one, like yeah, it's
It's
crazy,
crazy.
bro. Yeah. Like it's like but two the point is too, these
Yeah.
kids are easily satisfied with where they at because they started off very poor. So when they have these little bit of things, it's like
Mm.
big to them. Like you have companies like Africell,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
they they set the standards for these kids. They'll come if you pay a ST or
Mm.
a Jizzle like 100,000,
Yeah.
$150,000 for a year, and that becomes the standard
Mm.
if they accept. That's like literally 2,000, almost not even $3,000, bro. Like I be having
Nah.
tabs bigger than that.
That's
Like when I
that's
go out,
my
bro.
my label my salary fee. Like, and I have a regular 9 to 5 job, so you know what I
Exactly.
mean. But I think also, like, I had a conversation with this one of my friend here, Musa Njai. He makes these new shirts, the Jufure outfit shirts.
Yeah.
It's been getting really big, and we were having a discussion because me doing this podcast right now, I'm like, it's new. I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things I want. Sometimes I have my technical difficulties here, but I'm learning. But I'm like, the way I visualize it, I want to make it so big because I want to give like every Gambian platform. It's not even about artists, because if you, later you can go and see the podcast episodes that I had. I had different individuals, right? But I still have the back of my mind. I feel like there's something inside the blood of me that just is in there, that's making me think like, who am I to get to a certain place? Like, who am I to get to a Joe Rogan type podcast? I feel like that's something also that's just in the Gambian person. I don't know whether you relate to me or not. We
I
get
know,
to a
but
certain place where we can't pass it.
I know.
Mm,
Like we always have this like this Gambian standard, especially that word Gambian standard. Because
mm.
we believe, but hold up, bro. Well, Baba find my son, bro. Bro.
I
Yeah, I
love this,
gotta
man.
bro. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. If
Alright.
you mind me asking, how many joints do you smoke a day?
Bro, I partly live in Cali, bro. I smoke since like when I wake up to when I go to bed. Like I spend at least $300 on weed like every single day, bro.
That's crazy. And you still be able to function and do all your things, right?
I don't even know when I'm high anymore. That's the honest truth. But leave on deploy. How much is you today? Be, yeah. Having nail all day. I mean, deploy. Not a nail. Yeah.
Yeah.
That Gambian in you,
Mm,
bro. I used to feel that way too sometimes. I'm not even gonna lie, but I have people like, like I'm gonna be honest. Like Team G, they've been
mm,
like, whenever I'm like, I had a group of people that just came together and formed themselves because they feel I wasn't doing. So
mm,
I'm gonna put this out there. I didn't form Team
mm,
G. It's not my idea to come and
mm,
actually create Team G. It's a bunch of like kids like Maimuna Cham, Janke. They all came
mm,
together. Jeba, all these people, and then they've been my
mm,
backbone. Whenever I'm actually don't want to do shit, like they're the reason
mm.
why I come up and do stuff again. These kids
Yeah.
have so much belief in me to a point where I just couldn't let go. So whilst they were growing
Mm,
up and everybody
mm,
started getting married and da da da, Jeba has
mm,
work, this one does this. I was like, okay, now it's time to retire too. Now I can get a chance to retire. There's not those core members are not there anymore. So,
mm.
I could actually do something else with my life.
But do you feel like there's this internal dialogue, like the internal dialogue that I'm saying that I be having? Do you think that actually like makes us or keeps us down also for not wanting to do something? Because I feel like, when you have, especially when you were depressed, right? When you're depressed, you always have these negative thoughts. We always have these negative internal dialogues within ourselves, and it's really hard to kind of break it to. Even when now you might feel like you're good, it feels like there's some little bit of crumbs
Yep.
like
Yep.
that are still
Yep.
left in there. Like,
Yep.
were you having those dialogues? Were you having positive dialogues with yourself, or like how were you going through that process?
Um, I always I like to be challenged. Like when I keep myself busy,
Mm-hmm.
um, if I was in Gambia, sometimes I get better, but there's not much to do. So after you find yourself by yourself again,
Mm-hmm.
and then just things starts coming up. But here it got better to a point where I don't. Once you start getting busy, you lead one thing leads to the next. One thing leads to the next. You open this
Mm-hmm.
new business, it's growing. You're doing this, you're doing this. So you don't have
Mm-hmm.
that time again to actually stop yourself. I'm gonna be honest. We're here. Every target I ever gave myself, I've surpassed it. Like, if I was like, okay, I want to do this amount of stuff for this amount of time, I want to gather this amount of money
Hmm.
whatsoever, and I start getting busy. But before you
Hmm.
know it, like half of the time, I've already reached my goal.
In the
Like
U.S.,
it's
you
'cause-
mean?
yeah, yeah, in the US,
Yeah.
because so I
Mm-hmm.
always keep myself focused, and I think that deeper whatever sound that always keeps you back, like that ever holds you back,
Hmm.
that okay, I'm Gambian, I
Hmm.
can't surpass it. That
Hmm.
only happens like in Gambia, bro.
Okay.
Like I know, yeah, it only happens in Gambia. It don't happen when you're outside.
But that's
Like
crazy.
you,
That's something we really need to figure out, man. That's
but
something we need to figure out.
yeah,
Whether it has to be in the education system, start with the kids, and then help them have like
bro,
talking with a specialist or
I
whatever.
I'm gonna tell you one of the things I really, really, really hate this current government for, and this organization called Yep.
Hmm.
Um, like when I do stuff, I don't care about the government. I don't care about whatever organization. I don't care. I started projects because I want to do it. I'm not
Hmm.
looking for help. I'm not looking for, like, if I told you could add something to it, okay, fine. Before this whole Yep came into, it's like a youth empowerment program.
Yeah. Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
I was on this thing called I was, these youth centers in Kotu, Bakau, all these places are
Yeah.
abandoned.
Mm.
They're no longer youth centers. The one in Kotu is being rent out for by this watchman, like for when they want to do these little furals and stuff. He rents them out. They come to fural.
That's crazy,
So,
man.
so my thing was, when kids are growing up,
Hmm.
like to have a youth center around you that will give you
Hmm.
books to read, like this internet, you could do research. There's a little
Hmm.
studio there if you're interested in music or whatsoever, learn or whatsoever. There are little
Yeah.
little things, little things. These things don't cost much. It's just little things.
Hmm.
So I wanted to use the Kotu one. I've
Hmm.
already split it out different ones. Back out there, I went to each and every one with my team, each and every one.
Hmm.
So we split it out the
Hmm.
problems, we split it out how much we gonna need, how much we gonna do this.
Hmm.
Um, I was like, let me go to Talib, like to
Hmm.
like since he's in KMC, and like that's my boy. So like it would be good to have his support.
Yeah.
So by then, he had this kid that was working with him. I think it's Kemo or whatever it is, that like the whole like that kid from UDP or whatever. So I
Yeah.
think once I went to Talib, he said yep there whatsoever. So I went to yep. So I basically put out my plan and
Hmm.
everything. Um, Next minute, what I saw was that same kid Camo with the
Hmm.
same stuff he was wearing that day when I went to the plan or whatever.
Yeah.
Already has like some videos and some pictures online going to the Bakau this thing, youth center.
Youth center. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that. Like, okay, basically what I wanted to do. And then
So
guess
they
what?
took your idea. Mm.
Not Even if you take my idea and do it, it's fine. But they did it
Hmm.
for the publicity, for people to see that they're about to do this, and it never materialized. Like that's what they do back home.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they wanna
Yeah.
let it show that they're doing something. Like you today, if you go
Hmm.
to online and
Yeah.
you check, oh, they're doing this, you're not gonna follow up because it's not something about you. Oh, they're doing a good job.
No. Hmm.
So with me, if you bring politics into my shit, like I don't like politics. That's me. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when my dad was the whole finance minister and stuff like that, I'm not into politics. It's not my like. It's not
Yeah.
what. Yeah, so
Mm.
they did that. It kind of that kind of set the tone for me, as in we're in a country where people don't really care about shit. They just want to be seen, and
Yeah.
then they don't want to help out. So that's how
No.
that project stopped. And I haven't been to Gambia in like 4 years, but I could guarantee you, if you went to that same youth center and the Bakau one or
It won't
whatever,
be there.
it, it won't be there.
Yeah.
It
But
won't be there.
have you do you think you can do it on your own or with your other friends that are not maybe involved in politics, like maybe Momar
I
or
can
someone
I
else
can
maybe
do
who
it.
has maybe the same amount of finances or I don't know, that who can work
Bro,
with
these are
this.
not like this is not money. I could do 10 of them by myself. Like I could
Oh,
do 10 of them by myself right now if I wanted to. But it's not even that. Then I couldn't do
mm,
it. Then
yeah.
then I was earning in dollars. So for me to
Mm,
even buy like a little studio set, it would be in dollars. I have to tell you. Now I earn in dollars and I spend in dollars. So it's different.
yeah.
I like yeah,
True.
I could do like yeah, it's totally different. So like my friends, we've been doing stuff like we like mosques and stuff like that.
Mm,
We've been building a couple few and like
yeah.
yeah, we do
Oh,
stuff
that's
like
good.
that. But
Yeah.
we
To give
haven't
back.
really
Yeah. Mm,
exactly. I did a lot of give back in my career too. So
yeah. But that's
yeah.
great. But right now, looking back at all your career, like your journey and everything, all the ups and downs, the successes, the failures, like if you could have a conversation right now with your high school self, with your, with him, and would you sit right in front of him, like what would you want to say to him right now? Like, would you do things differently? Like, or what does he need to hear? At least I would say, maybe not advice, but what does he need to hear?
Bro, this guy right here. I don't know. I wouldn't have changed shit, bro. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
changed. Man,
But
I
what
wouldn't
does
have
he
changed.
need to hear? What would young
He
G
just
wants
he
needs to
just
hear?
he just he just the young me, I would advise him to not trust too much.
Mm,
Um, like to not let people in too much,
yeah.
and number two, I know that love is a beautiful thing and whatsoever, but it kind of wasted my time a lot. Like
Yeah.
relationship wise and shit like that. Yo, hold on, let
Mm.
me. There's one sec. Hello. I saw you call 2 times. I'm actually on a podcast right now. Yes. Yeah, like you can hear the host of it laughing. Like,
Only
uh,
G is allowed to do this, by the way, on the podcast.
I'm sorry. I'll call you right back. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. It was just
Nah,
keep
it's
on
good.
calling,
It's all
calling.
it's all good. It's all good. I'm sure you're very, very busy, man. But yeah, what were we saying right now? Yeah, with that conversation with your younger self, you said something about love. Yeah,
Yeah, love is it's such a beautiful thing, but it can slow you down. It can slow you down.
yeah.
Slow you
How
down.
is your love life right now?
Great,
Yeah,
great. Yeah, I have
yeah.
a beautiful person, and she just makes sure I
Mm,
stay smart from when I wake up to when I sleep.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great to hear. You know. Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, I just thought about it earlier. I said when I think I was telling my wife this this question right now that I just asked you, that if I were to have that conversation with my younger self, I
Mhm.
don't know. It's a very deep internal thing, because I've been through a lot also in my life, where with losing my dad and losing my brother also, and I
Yeah, I
just
know.
went through this. Yeah, exactly. And I just went through this crazy journey, because I don't know whether you probably don't remember, but I used to come to your house in Pipeline, and I used to be around,
Bro,
I think, E
I
Boy.
remember everything. And then Sailor too was my
Yeah,
big one too. Well, that's my big bro too. It's
yeah.
not just your big bro,
So
bro.
yeah, I understand. I understand.
His advice to me always, I'm gonna be
Mm,
honest, he supported me with my music though. Like
yeah,
he
my
never
brother.
bought,
Yeah.
he never
Mm,
bought like one CD one time. He'll buy like 5, 10 CDs, even though like he don't need it.
mm.
Um,
I remember I saw a lot of your CDs in the car, in his
yeah,
car. Yeah,
yeah,
because I think that was around also the same time that I left the boarding school, and then I started listening to music, because
yeah.
I'm from a boarding school, so
I know.
I got, yeah. So basically, like life changed a lot for me. You know what I mean? This is even not something that I'm expecting to do in my life. So that's how I've known your music more, obviously. But I always known you, but never really know that you done music until I actually start to see it or hear it. And I saw a lot of CDs in my brother's car all the time. Yeah, yeah, man. But one thing about you, like you said earlier, Team G, like I think you have a very special bond with your fans, because you're always on Twitter, and I'm always seeing your tweet, and it's hilarious, man. But when it comes to and I'll just say, just take it easy with T Smalls, man, because the jokes are just hilarious.
Yeah, Smalls, that's my boy. Though. That's
Yeah,
my.
yeah. But Twitter is fun. Twitter is really fun. Yeah. But like have you had any powerful experiences with your fans, like moments where your music really hit them and have reached out to you saying like you've changed my life or something like that? Has there been anything like that in your life with your fans?
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you
dude,
share
yeah,
those moments?
yeah, and like I've witnessed times where I got to perform and the people like painted. I had to stop the shows. Somewhere I gotta like I meet fans that will cry from when I meet them to when I leave that I can't even speak. And like some like I meet guys too. I got guys
Hmm.
that be telling me like my love songs be it for them. They actually like you said in our society there's some stuff we call manly and it's not manly. Guys are not allowed to express themselves.
Yeah, of
So
course. Yeah.
like they
Hmm.
don't know how it is. Like as a man of the house, you don't see your dad like doing your mom stuff, like being romantic and stuff. Like every dad in the house is like stressed. Like,
Hmm.
come hang up about it. Like and when you see your kids you don't talk, stuff like that. Everybody's trying to act like like whatnot. So like my music for them has been like a way of like in touch with the emotional sides, like how they
Yeah.
feel about it and how they could talk to a woman. Like there's some
Yeah.
that said they use my albums to actually able they like they
Yeah.
use lines from my albums to be chasing their women or whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah, there will be
Mm.
some like even the wife I had, bro. I use your song to actually this and this and this and
Yeah.
this and this. Yeah, so it's like a great feeling though.
But how does that? I can't imagine that feeling, like being a performer and people are fainting over you, and and that. How does that make you feel? Because I remember, because a couple of weeks ago, oh no, sorry, months ago, I went to a Kendrick Lamar concert, right? And I don't know,
Mhm.
for somehow I had this thing that I said that I will never go to a concert before, because he almost feel like he would like look like he was being worshipped. You know what I mean? Because the intensity and the craziness of the crowd,
Oh,
people
that's
screaming,
Kendrick,
people
bro.
crying,
Kendrick,
bro. But it
bro.
was so crazy because, and so now that you're telling me this and people screaming, like, how does that make you feel overall? Like, how do you deal with your ego and then having that confidence at the same time? How do you balance that?
I feel I don't know. As a person, you know how to deal with it, cause like I said again,
Hmm.
artist, entertainer,
Hmm.
an artist knows when he touches people. He knows where to touch. He knows why he's writing what he's writing. He knows the kind of people
Hmm.
is gonna actually get to. An entertainer just wants to do something quick to move your body and make money. He don't care
Hmm.
who's singing. He don't care what kind of style is gonna put onto it. So,
Hmm.
Kendrick Lamar is the artist. It's
Yeah.
like you're not seeing it as worship, but it's like you like the person to an extent where you just I don't know how to put it.
It's insane.
You-
I mean,
you-
it's if you really
you-
think about it, because everybody's hand their hand, like throwing
Bro,
it up there, reaching out
if
to
I met
you.
If I met Andre 3000, it would have been the same thing, bro. I would have been starstruck. I would
Really?
have been, yeah. I don't care. I could
I
meet Drake. I don't care. I could
yeah.
meet J Cole. I don't care. Jay-Z. I don't care, to be honest. But Andre 3K
Yeah.
could actually make me feel that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like if
That's
you like a
crazy.
person
Yeah.
for a long time, you listen to them
Mm.
for a long time,
Mm.
you have never
Mm.
set eyes on them, and
Yeah.
let's say 2 decades, 3 decades, you got all their albums, you got all that. Okay, this is the chance where
Mm.
you get to meet the voice, the person behind the voice of what
Yeah.
you actually wake up to,
Mm.
sleep to, party to, made love to with your wife probably,
Yeah.
like have a kid to, all these things.
Yeah.
Like it, everybody has different, like different places where music hits you. I have few tracks where if they play it, it might just be a song to you. But
Mhm.
if they play that track to me, um, it actually could have been like a day I was like really down and certain
Mhm.
things happened. Let's say my boy died or whatsoever. I just had this
Mhm.
music playing in the background, or and
Mhm.
it kind of helped me get through that situation. So whenever I
Yeah.
hear it, that's what I think of. So it puts me in that
Okay.
mood. Yeah, it's I don't know. The music is crazy, bro. Like
I don't
that's
know how to feel like if I, because Lil Wayne, I think it's like for me the one that influenced me a lot in my life. But I don't know how I would feel if I meet him, because I'm a type of person. I don't know, because I have that boarding school Quranic teaching in part of me, even though it doesn't show a lot, but it feels like I'm not impressed with a lot of things. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of creativity. It takes a lot for a person to impress me, and that's why even like having you in this podcast, it's like I think I was at work, and then literally you just came in. I think I saw one of your tweets and you just came in. I was like, I think G would be the perfect person to talk to. And usually I'm very, very picky on who I want to have on the podcast and who I want people to listen to, you know. So it takes a lot to impress me. But I don't know if I meet him, because I try not to be over too much, and then the person pushes me back, because you
Yes,
know how
yeah.
artists are and stars are. You know, you don't know what kind of mood they are, what kind of places they are. You know what I mean? I've met Davido once in Coco Ocean. We were hanging out, but he was really high, and he was just sitting there smoking. You know what I
I
mean?
met him
And
like 2 years
we didn't really
ago
talk.
where
Yeah.
we did I was he was having a show in LA, and he's the
Mm,
friend with my friend. So
mm,
the after party he was like, let's wait for him out the hotel. If he's coming up, we just go up with him. So I met him,
yeah.
like we shook hands, went up together
Yeah.
for a little time. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's cool. I used to judge him wrong though, but after I
Yeah.
actually saw him and the way he is, like
Yeah.
he's just a kid with money, bro. That's different. That's
Yeah.
that's different, bro.
True.
Yeah, yeah. You can't
Yeah.
blame him.
Yeah. But G, I'm gonna let you go soon. But I just want to ask. I hopefully I found a question. Like, how do you want to be remembered?
Whoa,
How do you want to be
serious.
remembered?
I don't think I'm done yet. I think I'm
Yeah.
done yet.
But I mean,
I don't think I'm done
one
yet.
day,
Remember.
you know, one day we won't be here anymore. But
Um,
how do you want to be remembered? What is it that you want to leave here?
like I wanna leave a structure. I wanna live like a
Mm-hmm.
legacy where like 100 years from now, like they'll be like, okay, G
Mm-hmm.
did this here. He left this here. But I haven't been able to like okay, someone like Sona Jabate, like she has a school back home,
Yeah.
like back in Gambia where like she's
Oh,
actually
really?
building
Oh.
drummers.
Mm.
Yeah, like she spends a lot of money. Like when she came
Mm.
to LA this other time, like we were together, like we went to eat together and like we talked a lot.
Mm.
Like she's too one of the people too that I like a lot. Like when I saw I got starstruck in Gambia
Mm.
one time when I first met her.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She spends so much money doing that, like a lot. It's very ridiculous actually, and she don't gain nothing from it. So
Wow.
for
I never
people
heard
like that,
about it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro, Sona Jabate is the only Gambian artist that gets booked from January 1st to January 1st and have packed shows every week, like multiple times in around
Mm.
the world, from LA to China to Mexico
Yeah.
to yeah, every just go check her out. Like she's always
Yeah.
she's always
No,
there.
I know her, but what you're talking about, what she's done in Gambia, I never heard about anything like that. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
she's doing. She has a
Yeah.
school where
Mm.
a lot of kids, and then she helps them even travel, like come to her,
Mm.
do shows. Like she would invite, like she's doing a lot in terms of so as much as like I don't know how to put it. I want something like that at some point, like a music
Mm.
school, like a big like a big media,
Mm.
because the issue in Gambian music, the two main issues is
Mm.
production and
Mm.
platforms. We have limited platforms and production is very expensive. So if you make
Okay.
these things available and like cheap, like whatever, and available to these kids, you see
Mm.
more talents than you're actually seeing right now. And then teach them how to actually sell their own music online and how to
Mm.
actually do things themselves. Because the whole point of being signed, that's old school. People don't do that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
people only sign distribution deals. Like, okay, I made my product already. Okay, help me sell it. Like, that's what people sign. But
Mm.
nobody signs the artist anymore. Be like, oh, this is my artist. Yo, you signed. Oh, I'm gonna invest into the artist, and that's old school. People don't do that anymore. Like they don't have the time. All the labels now they wait for you to
Mm.
do the job to be hot, and then they will help. They will add on. They will take your product and sell your product. It's like you made like something raw, like a not like a
Yeah.
nice ass chocolate. Okay, the chocolate needs a
Mm.
packaging. we already have stores that are already
Mm.
selling. So we'll package you this thing. That's the videos, the PR, whatever. The whole interviews they're gonna
Yeah.
put you, and then we put it on those stores. Okay, those are placements. I don't know if you see the algorithm sometimes when you search a track in YouTube, and then
Yeah.
automatically it's finished, and a next drag, like a next drag track that's new just came on.
Yeah.
That's
True.
that. Oh, okay, the labels control those things. They could put you on platform, they could put you on playlists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's them. Yeah. So you nowadays you gotta do all the hard work. So I want to
Mm.
leave a legacy where these things that artists need and whatsoever, it's there for the next
Mm.
100 years. Like my name's on it. They'll know. Okay, a person called
Mm.
G was here one time that actually put this in
Yeah.
place for us to use. So that's why
Yeah.
that's why I told you about Mohawk. Like I
Hmm.
respect Mohawk because that's what he's the only one I know that was there at some point that has something there that the kids were using until now. We know the likes of Jizzle, OG
Mm.
Low, Jelly Mari,
Mm.
Sophia, Big Fa. You know, a
Mm.
lot of artists came through him.
Yeah.
So if at all there wasn't a Dr. Dre, there'll be no Eminem, there'll be no 50 Cent. It's like
Yeah.
a yeah, that's how it works. So we need more of things like that. Like
True.
like another thing. I just want to say this out before we close out.
Mm.
Like in
Yeah.
terms of artists, when you ask me, like, do you see any artist
Yeah.
that's gonna surpass that level?
Mm.
I don't see any artist that's gonna surpass this level because they're not taking those steps. Like ST wants to be an artist until he dies. Like
Yeah.
Attack, same thing. Jizzle, same thing. Like
Hmm.
when you're an artist, to establish yourself. When you're hot is when you can establish yourself. You could build a certain a label or whatever distribution company. You should do something in order to keep yourself out because you're not gonna be hot forever. So this is what continues, like whatever you're doing.
So it's
A,
not
a
even
lot of
about the
art,
kind of music you're creating.
it don't matter. Like
Mm.
okay, you spoke about J Cole, like
Yeah.
like a J Cole or whatever. Okay, J Cole's
Kendrick.
entire
Yeah. Kendrick
career.
Lamar. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
you could compare to him with J Cole and Drake and them. Okay, J Cole is my favorite to be honest. I don't know, like all the
Yeah.
three. His entire career, he was signed by Jay Z. You won't even see that. Like, there's no Jay Z attached to him throughout his entire career. But his entire
No.
career, what was it, Rock Nation
Mm.
with Jay Z till right now. He did his Grammys
Mm.
or whatsoever. But that was something Jay Z built for artists
So
like him to
you.
come in.
Yeah.
So,
So
so
you're
Jay Z's name is
saying.
gonna live on
Yeah.
forever.
That's
Wherever
true.
you
So
mention
you.
Kendrick, you're gonna mention Jay Z.
Yeah.
Whenever you mention
So is.
Rihanna, you're gonna mention Jay Z.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
yeah,
That's true. And Kanye and all of them. So are you
exactly.
saying that it's about them not being individual but coming together? For example, if a YD album was signed to you or Attack or all these other, do you think that is what is going to help them know how to deal with their careers better? Is that what you're saying? Like if we're to be fixed right
Um,
now, like what where do you see how is that possible for it to happen? Because if you want to talk about big, you are like the biggest. I can't name any other Gambian artist whose name is always there like yours, for example. You know,
it's
you
it's
can talk about
because
maybe
it's because
Jaliba, and all these, but I'm talking
yeah.
about our generation right now, like the type of music we're making.
Name. You know why I like okay, Yusundur and Jaliba, I put them on the same level in terms of respect.
Mm.
You know why you put Yusundur above Jaliba?
No.
Apart from Wali Seka, name
Mm.
any other artist that's actually blown in Senegal that didn't pass through Yusundur's camp, like a Prince Art,
No, no one yet.
Pap Diouf, Vivian,
Yeah,
all these
all of
things.
them. No
His
one. I mean,
newspaper,
yeah,
he got a newspaper, he got a TV, he got a radio,
yeah.
he got all these things. So
He's been in a
he's like
Hollywood film. I've seen him in a Hollywood film before.
exactly. No, I'm
Yeah.
telling things he owns.
Mm.
Like he owns
Okay.
all these things in Senegal. Newspaper, TV, label, everything you need as an artist to blow. You still can make you famous in Senegal in one day if he wanted to. It's because he
True.
has all the resources, everything he needs. If I I was still doing music, I wouldn't do music to take out a track that people will
Mm.
like and dance to. Okay, I
Hmm.
did that 10 years ago. They were dancing. Why would I be focused on that right now?
No. You want
Okay,
to establish yourself
That's
differently.
what
Yeah.
ST is. That's what ST is still doing. That's what Attack is doing. That's what Jizzle is still
Mm.
doing. They want to be an artist. They want to pull out the baddest track that everybody's listening to.
It's that
Okay, in
lifestyle.
music,
Mm.
yeah, in music, if you're mature enough and you reach a certain level, you'll understand that a track is just a product. It has a time span.
Mm-mm.
It's gonna, it's not gonna give you. It just keeps you alive. It keeps the carrier alive. It's just a time span. So if at all I had Jizzle again, I signed Jizzle, and he puts out a track, it's me. It's the wave still. So in order for them to, I'm telling this them, if they like, they can take the advice. If they like, they won't take it. It's their business. If none of them establish themselves within the next 3 years, there'll be new players in the game. There'll be another one taking ST's place. There'll be another one taking Attack's place. There'll be another one taking Jesus' place. And if at all those people too don't change that, they're gonna go and another people are gonna come. Like
Damn.
to Jalex, okay, as much as we know ST right now, because he's the one that we see the social medias and whatsoever.
Mm.
When Jalex was hot, like he's hotter than ST right now. When he was hot during that era, he was known everywhere too. There was a Broke, there was Buddy Bunker. All these people were hot up
Mm.
to a point where yeah, Jamie would actually take them everywhere. They were too hot. So ST is just another one.
Mm-mm.
And there's gonna be another one, there's gonna be another one. So if they don't get to realize that in order to stay as an artist, you have to establish
Mm.
yourself. You have to if ST like with his following, if
Mm-hmm.
he opened up a multimedia company in Berkama, that's his
Mm-hmm.
turf. You know, every artist that actually comes from Birkama is gonna actually pass through his hands. Like that's the honest truth.
Well, if
Birkama
he's gonna
alone
listen to this,
got
he
like
should do
two
it.
three venues. Got like two three venues. Got everything. He could actually like it's a power where he holds right now. If he doesn't want to be, but again, I'm telling you, they want to be artists forever. They want to jump on plywoods,
Mm.
like performing for kids and everybody screaming. That's
Plywood.
what they want. That's what I'm saying. Like
Mm.
that's exactly what they want. And then to another thing where I would also
Mm-hmm.
I also emphasize it on it. Actually, it's kind of scary because what you do when you endorse a person, when you do things like this, is music gives when you give them power.
Mm.
So that power, when you start giving it to them, you don't control it. It could go up to a place where that power could surpass you.
It's
So,
bigger
like
than
for
you.
example,
Mm.
yeah. So okay. For example, when I handed, like for example, when I said Attack, I gave him power. That power kept growing. That power kept growing. What he did with that power, now I'm not in control of it. But then
Mm-hmm.
was he doing right with that power? At some point, he's not doing right with the power. He'll come, he'll do this, he'll say this, he'll say this. But then guess what? He has fans where they know Attack. They don't know G. They don't care about G. They don't know ST. They don't know. They like Attack. So whatever he
Mm-hmm.
tells them is what they believe. Whatever he wants to do is what they
Yeah.
believe. So that's what a lot of people are scared of to a point where they don't open labels or they don't do shit like that. Or in Birkama, if I was supposed to have my multimedia company, I open a label, oh this kid
Mm-hmm.
is here, I'm producing for him. But then people are starting to like him more than they like me. So in
Yeah.
Gambia, there's the limited places where we could actually make money as artists. So that kid start getting all the bookings. That still start getting all these things. You
Mm-hmm.
start to get jealous because that's how it works. But if at all you signed him and the paperwork are straight, if he gets booking, that's your bookings. If he put out the
Yeah.
track, that's your material. If he does whatever, it's your because within this time of period, you put black and white right to a point where it's gonna you know
Yeah.
it's gonna go the way it is. But
Yeah.
then again, Gambians don't our artists are not educated. I'm I- I'm not active, but go check on Twitter. Check my followings on Twitter. It's not even much.
Yeah.
Like it's only 21,000.
Yeah.
ST is supposed to be more active than me. He's an active artist. He only has like a
Yeah.
thousand four hundred followers. You know why? Because it's you write in Twitter. People you talk.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. That's true.
try interview any of these artists.
Yeah.
To hold a dialogue is like it's hard. They don't have no PR skills. They don't um
Yeah.
bro. To sing something catchy on a beat, everyone could do it.
Mm.
Even if you be a whole day, you could come up with something, bro. So
Mm.
this is just gonna. I don't
Yeah.
know how
I
this
think
gonna.
I think what you said.
Yeah,
Yeah. But I think what
yeah,
you said makes sense because I thought about a lot of other people that I want to have talked to as artists, but I do my research very well. You know what I mean? And I like to talk to people that who can actually really talk and have a proper dialogue and have a conversation and think about the things that they say. So that part I already thought about. You know what I mean? Because if I'm gonna see who I can really choose and have a proper conversation with, just I can't really say anybody that I really have in mind. You know what I mean? But I've seen new artists coming like Uche, this Hussein Dada guy, I
bro.
don't know,
This
and
project, but
Acidic. I like
Uche,
that guy.
Uche,
I like
I'm gonna talk
Bass.
about Uche. I'm gonna talk about Uche. I feel if anybody needs support
Mm,
right now, here's the
mm,
person. I've listened to Hussein's album. It's very good. It's nice. It
mm.
came out. It's nice. He gave us all of us our flowers, including me. Spoke about
Yeah,
a lot of
heard about
the
it. Yeah.
album.
Mm,
But in terms of music, like you know, I did mention artists and entertainers. That's one
mm-hmm.
section. There's another section where Kanye West falls on, like a producer artist, where J. Cole
Yeah,
falls on, a producer artist, where Travis Scott falls on, a producer artist. They make their own shit. They create their own, like an artist. Like for me, for example, I might write music, da, 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 but to put that out my head in into existence, I might not have it exactly how I want it. I might have to settle for less because I'm talking to a producer about what I have in my head. This is what I want. This is what I want. J. Cole, Kanye, all these people, they could put out what they have in their head out 100% because they produce it themselves at their own time, at how
yeah.
they want to do it. So that's the difference. So in Gambia, we only have Uchi like that.
Mm.
Yeah,
And I heard the album. I heard the album and I could tell the difference because I heard both the Hussein Dada and the Uche's album, and I can just hear when it comes to production wise, musically, you can tell how that I even tweeted it. I said, okay, this Uche guy is just set the bar really high. You know what I mean?
high,
He's just changing
bro,
Gambian
very
music.
high, very,
You know what
very
I
high.
mean? Yeah. So that's good. That's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah. But you
Yeah,
know,
and
overall,
we only have him.
yeah,
We have him.
yeah,
That's the only
mm,
artist producer we have in Gambia, to be honest. Like we need to
yeah,
we need to hold
mm,
on to the kid and help him to actually go where he
yeah,
wants to go. Yeah.
yeah. But I hope you also can keep, you know, being an advocate for this because we like for me hearing this like that these artists might not go anywhere. It's kind of a sad thing because you we want Gambia to go forward. We want our artists to go forward. We want to have a Davido. We want to have a Burner Boy. You know what I mean? And you should be one of the ones that's still advocating. You know what I mean? Use your platforms, use whatever that is necessary to be able to help them and keep talking. And I know sometimes it might get tiring
Bro, I
because
see
I
the
feel like
truth. They don't like to hear
you
it.
know,
They don't like to hear the truth,
yeah,
bro. They don't like to hear it.
yeah,
That's the honest truth. They
yeah,
wanna like they like they wanna live in hope. And like that's the saddest part. Okay,
hmm,
you say Davido, that's like a high aim, bro.
hmm,
Name a Gambian artist that actually lives in his own house. That that actually built his own house. That bought a land. That spent like millions to actually build all of them near rent, bro. They're like paying like 50,000, 100,000 a year. Like, that's what they're doing.
yeah.
Like the fans have more money than the artists. That's the actual truth.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, that's the
That's
bro.
sad.
Okay, how much do you think this AfriCell endorsements are? Or
No,
AfriCell
I
sign
know
you
it's not a lot. I know it's not a
like
lot. Yeah, I
150,
mean our
200.
economy is already terrible. Why would you give an artist so much money? Like it won't go anywhere. You know, the
Bro,
other day I thought about. I was like, would the AfriCell CEO would ever talk to me? I was like, that's someone I would
boy,
really
that's
be
sign,
interested in
bro. That's
actually.
sign. That's sign. That's our boy,
No, but
bro.
I'm
He
talking
should
about
be able to talk to you.
no, I'm talking about the guy himself. I forgot his name. I think I googled him the other day. Like the CEO, like the one who built
I
AfriCell. I
had
don't think
him.
he lives in Gambia.
Yeah. No, but I had
Mm,
a, I had a scenario once where he intervened. He actually sent me a message on
yeah,
Instagram because I was beefing with one of the managers there. So he sent me a message and was like,
yeah,
what's actually going on?" So I explained to him. The next minute it was
mm,
signed, da da da,
yeah,
they squashed it. So he flew in and then, you know, but I only
yeah,
saw him once too. But all I'm saying
yeah.
is, like Africell, it used to be Bedroom Bay, and then you had Sign,
Mm,
like that
mm-hmm,
was under. But then Sign, we went to school together. That's we kind of
mm,
related. We
yeah,
kind of this.
yeah.
So with
I know
me,
him.
you know,
Yeah.
like
Mm, mm,
yeah. So me
mm,
sometimes if I see like I was like, okay, if this guy gets to this position, I feel it's gonna get better. He understands us more. He's understand. But it's Gambia. Everybody you know, when they get to certain position, bro, they
mm.
just go with the program that they found there, bro.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah, it's
influence
hard.
other people, especially. That's why
It's
I said,
hard.
because I have so many questions. Like we have one of the most expensive internet. Even to a point I
Bro,
want to talk
it's
to
a
Mohammed one day.
airtime. Airtime la ñuy jaay airtime. To fix it
So
more hard.
it's
Like
yeah,
it's me they just milking like
yeah,
like like the poor
yeah,
people, bro. That's the honest truth.
yeah. So I'm
And
trying to I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to talk to one of them at least to be able to answer the question that I need answered.
I mean,
Yeah,
just try to talk to Simon. I think he would accept.
yeah,
I don't. I think he would. He
yeah,
should. He should. Yeah.
yeah. I I know him and he knows me, so
Bro,
we'll see.
the
Yeah.
environment
Mm,
for business is not. Gambia has the worst environment to do any business, and music is a business. Like how I would advise you not to invest into anything when it comes to Gambia. Even a
mm,
house, if you have
mm,
one, is enough. You don't need more. That's the same way I
mm,
advise when it comes to music. It's like
yeah.
our president and the government didn't set an environment that's good enough to. Because when you're doing business here, you don't even think about internet, light going off, like
No.
water. Like these are the things where it's basic to make a company run. Like if I was supposed to like have anything where you gotta order online in Gambia, I'll have to think of a different way to do it in a way
Hmm.
where it's gonna be, and then you focus on another 50,000 people to 100 that kind of have money because the population is 1.8. Most of them are poor, and it's not a place to do business, bro. It's not a place. Like
Mm.
I just say it as it is. It's not a place.
Or at least it won't last. Yeah, it doesn't last. Yeah.
Everything I ever made in music, huh?
Mm.
Everything. I'm telling every cent I ever made in music since
Mm.
I started to the very end.
Yeah.
I made in America in 6 months. I made in
Wow.
America in 6 months. Yep, that's the difference. And I'm not even
Yeah.
doing music. I'm still a regular kid. Like that just
What?
came with
Why
it.
won't you start? You think you can do it in American and instead and try it there?
Bro, what
Yeah.
36-year-old artists you know that are blue?
Yeah. I mean, you never know.
It's an age, bro. It's an
You
age.
never
So
know. All it takes now is just one song. Like obviously,
that's
like
the
I know you see it
entertainment. That's the
differently.
entertainment. I'm not
Yeah,
trying to
that's the
entertain
entertainment
anybody,
part.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not trying to entertain it. Like I'm not trying to entertain anybody.
Mm, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You do it for yourself. You do it for yourself. Yeah.
Well, you
But
do music
yeah.
that you could fans. For example, everybody raps, but if you hear a Drake sound, you know this is Drake. You wanna listen to Drake even though it's rap. You wanna listen to if if at all there's a Kendrick Lamar, there's certain
Hmm.
things you can get from Kendrick. You listen to Kendrick. So every artist they have something they give. They have something that makes you drive to them. If I wanna like feel a certain way, like emotionally, Drake
Hmm.
is a very emotional person. He could ride you through. He could to a breakup.
Yeah.
He could take you through it. Whatever you know.
Yeah.
If I wanna like get this or whatever, talk about the streets or what, I could listen to it. Um,
Do that.
uh, um, 21 Savage or whatever, they're like in tune with the streets. So even the language they speak, I could know what it means, what they're talking about. So everything has to give you what they're giving you. If I was supposed to do music here, I'm gonna have to find my crowd.
Okay. Makes sense.
And I tell
Yeah.
you my crowd and what I do and what I live. I don't want to find them, bro. I would rather be where I'm at right now. I'm just
Yeah.
actually,
No, but that's true. That makes sense. You write about the experiences and the things that you go through and where you are in your life, and that's what makes kind of the artist. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, G. Well, this was a really fun conversation and very educational for me also. So I learned a lot. So thank you for having this, and I pray to you for you to be able to have that platform, to be able to leave that establishment that you wishing and hoping to have, so that your
inshallah.
legacy can be able to continue, inshallah. Yeah.
I appreciate you too, though. This is like a great thing you're doing, and keep up the good work, though. Like, cause a lot of people,
Yeah.
like, I can't tweet much, but if you like if I get on a podcast, I can like I could express and elaborate on a lot of stuff. So I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's you're giving a voice to
Yeah.
like a lot of people that don't like
Yeah.
to talk. Like with me, I don't,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
It's
That's true. But
yeah,
it's
that's
just
good.
it's a start. I would love to have you again in the future, maybe indefinitely. You know what I mean? Maybe
So,
one day when I come to America or something, I'm planning to come there. We'll meet. Do it on video because if you notice in the beginning, I started recording with a good camera, and then I had a
exactly.
technical issue. So like this is the little things that's kind of annoying when you're doing this online. It's better when you actually have the person with you. So yeah, but appreciate you taking your time to do this, man. Yeah,
It's my pleasure.
I'll just say in the end, if you don't mind, you have to stay on the studio just for a little while. I think everything just needs to upload or whatever, and then
Okay.
after you can leave. I think you when we cut the call, you will see it. Yeah.
Okay, no
Thank you,
problem.
G.
All right, man. Take
Appreciate
care,
you,
bro.
man. Have a good day, bro. All right.
All right, but you too.
Bye, everyone.